Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate. Police fear that a spate of robberies last night was linked to a prison break by 5 Namboro inmates. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Iowane Naivalurua has issued a directive for the escapees to be captured within 24 hours. Shalvin Chand with more.
Soon after the 5 men broke out, there were 3 robberies around the Suva area.
Right now, allegations are that they're linked to the 5 who escaped, but we can't say anything on that yet. We have to determine whether there is a link, and for that, investigations are still continuing. We've recovered one of the stolen vehicles.
5 men in a stolen van robbed the Wishbone outlet in Lodala Beach, a home in Monaco and the Peninsula Hotel. The 5 broke out of prison at around 8:30 last night after the lights were turned off in the medium security center in Namboro.
Our men are out in the ground. We've erected roadblocks and such at strategic locations, and the focus is on ensuring that these escapees are recaptured.
All the robberies had 2 things in common: 5 men in an 8-seater van. At Peninsula Hotel, the 5 men threw beer bottles at staff who are still in shock. Police roadblocks have been set up at strategic locations.
To those who are thinking of harboring these escapees, remember it is against the law. There's stiff penalties in place. It doesn't do anyone any good. So if you come across or anyone with any information that could lead to the whereabouts or the arrest of these 5, please come forward to any of your community posts or police stations and just give us any sort of information that could help in the arrest.
The 5 fugitives are Solomon Ngurai, serving a life sentence for murder; Isua Wanga, sentenced to 8 years for violent robbery; Tevita Sungu, serving 13 years; Josiah Usumaki, with a 26-year sentence; and Epeling Garaningio. Officers have been ordered to make arrests within 24 hours. All leave have also been cancelled. Shalvin Chand, FBC News.
The Real Estate Agents Licensing Board is targeting commercial banks after complaints from home buyers. It's alleged bank employees are using confidential information to manipulate mortgagee sales for their own benefit. Devna Ryan has more.
Real B is now investigating certain bank employees with the help of the Commerce Commission and police.
There's a property at Dombati which was actually sold for $70,000, and what happened, the person was one of the bank officers who actually bought that property, and he sold it for $140,000.
Murthy claims bank employees are taking advantage of loopholes in the tenders to help acquaintances buy homes or are buying the houses themselves.
Basically, they're selling properties under market value, and there is no transparency in mortgage sale. And moreover, we are very much concerned regarding conflict of interest. Like, we have received complaints that a lot of bank officers who are buying properties under value, mortgage sale properties, under value mortgage sale properties.
He says banks should hire real estate agencies to process mortgage sale for the sake of transparency and also get independent evaluations of properties.
I personally think that it should be marketed at the fair value price, and once the mortgage payment is paid to the bank, the excess amount should be given back to the property owner.
Murthy warns bank employees that manipulating mortgage sales is considered a white-collar crime and carries heavy penalties. Devnarayan, FBC News.
Parents of students at Bawani Dayal Primary School are up in arms over lack of teachers. It's been confirmed that a group of Class 2 students haven't had a class teacher since Term 2. As Shireen Lata reports, the school management says they've been asking the Education Ministry for a new teacher.
About 50 Class 2 students don't have a teacher. This has been going on since about July.
In second term, there was no teacher in Class 2 or 3. And from the third term starts, there is no teacher in Class 2 or 2. We've been talking to headmaster, to Arya Samaj and to ministry, but we're not getting any solution from them.
Parents are concerned that children are missing out on classes, saying they've paid all their school levies and expect proper education.
We have already complained to the school. They said we're going to transfer another teachers in their class, but they're not doing anything.
But the Arya Pratinidhi Sabha of Fiji, which runs the school, says it's out of their hands.
This morning I went and met the head teacher and sought an explanation. He told me that he has already liaised with the Ministry of Education for for a relieving teacher, but the ministry has not been able to fulfill that, and as such, this class has remained without a teacher.
Director Primary Education Tomasi Rayawa told FBC News he was unaware of the issue and will now liaise with the school. In the meantime, students in class 202 at Bhavani Dayal will be supervised by other teachers. Sharin Lata, FBC News.